Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with another episode for our crafting system, working with Narrative Pro. So let's go ahead and start making a few recipes and confirming that everything is working as it should be. So let's jump into the crafting recipes. We don't have any in there at the moment, but our data asset is somewhere. I don't think, no, we have to have made the recipes data asset. Yeah, it's right here. Recipes data asset. So now we need to make children of this, but not in the traditional sense. No, no. We need to make an actual data asset. So let's right click, search for data asset, and you're going to look for recipe. Select DA underscore bandage. So as you can tell, I'm going to keep everything exactly how it is um, with my example. That way we can confirm everything is working as it should. Let's go ahead and open up our bandage. We don't need that. We'll need the player state open. We shouldn't need anything else. We'll leave the crafting component open just in case. So now we need an item, which we don't have yet, called bandage. And we need crafting materials, which we don't have yet. Let's go ahead and start making them. So I'm going to come in here into Narrative Pro because I like to keep things organized. Inventory. New folder called Materials. And in here, I'll come into Blueprint class and type in Material. Material Data Asset Master, which is a child of narrative items. So this is, I know this is what we want. So BP underscore sorry, I want to make sure I get these named correctly. Material. Wow, let's spell this right. Material underscore data underscore herbs. And then speed up time, I'm just going to duplicate this. BP underscore material, not zero, underscore data underscore sticks. So we've got our materials. I'm going to open this up in the general UI of the herbs. I'm going to call this herbs. And in the description, useful herbs for healing. I'll just say for healing. We're going to want to make sure that usage, we don't want consume on use on. It doesn't matter. We're not using it. But one thing I do want to make sure, yeah, no, we don't need to worry about it. We'll keep use there for now. Now for sticks. Sticks. Common item used for many things. Compile and save. Come in here to bandage. First thing we want to do is get herbs. And we're going to want 2 of those. Plus sign again. And now we want sticks. And we want 3 of those. Now we need to create the actual bandage. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up so I can make sure that we set everything up exactly the same for now. Yeah, so it's consumable. So now we're going to back out of the materials folder, new folder, consumables, right click. I believe if we come down here to narrative, items, gameplay effect item, BP underscore item bandage. If we come down here and we look for bandage, there it is. Let's open it up. And it just says simple bandage. Description: a simple bandage used to restore health. Can be crafted, purchased, and sold. Okay. Got the base value set. Max stack. He has set it 5. It's an arbitrary number right now, meaning that that's not guaranteed to be the actual number. And we will leave everything as is because we're not confirming that the item actually heals. We're just making sure it makes the item. So we're going to hit compile. We'll hit save. We have the bandage, so we'll hit save. Come in here to crafting. Not crafting, to the player state. Let's open this up, make it bigger. Come to crafting. So we know this is going to be herbalism. Bandages. First, we'll make it is discovered. We want to make sure that that's working, and we'll put a 2 here, and the recipe bandage, and we're going to keep this at 0 for now. Compile and save. Now, in theory, it should work, but you may be asking yourself, well, how are we going to get it to populate? Because right now, if we open up the menu, nothing happens. That's a great question, and we should have set that up in the last episode, but we didn't. So we're going to go ahead and get that started right now. So you need to understand that right now what we're about to change, you shouldn't be changing normally. Because it's a menu provided by Narrative Pro. 1 second while I find it. Info. There we go. It's called W_narrative menu underscore player info. I would highly recommend even if you're not going to be keeping their UI for yourself, that you take everything UI related and not copy it, full on move it into your folders, and as you change the UI, you can change it there. That does mean that any new additions or changes that they make to the UI in the future, you don't automatically have access to, but it also means that you have absolutely nothing to worry about. If anything does get changed, that could break something, or that when you do update, that you lose all the work that you did. For this instance, I'm just changing what's in the plugin because I don't care if it's lost down the road, because I have, or will be, one of the two, moving the whole UI stuff so I can start making our UI custom for our game. So make sure you find the narrative menu underscore player info. It can be found. Here, let's do it this way. Click right here. Search. Narrative Pro content, menus. Right there. That easy. Now, once we've done that, we need to add to the switcher content. So we're going to find craft. To find the crafting menu, add it to the switcher content, and now we need to add this specifically to our system. So let's go ahead and go into the graph, and this is what we're doing right here. We want to move this over here to the left. Copy this and paste it. Register tab. tab name will be crafting. We'll keep it at WBP player info tab button. Tab button, there we go. And we're going to make the index a 4. And as you can see, we can't actually generate that here. And it's not showing up here yet because we need to come back into the design, check mark this as a variable. Now, you'll see right there that it's here. We plug that in just like that. Now, in theory, it should generate. Let's find out. Go ahead and hit play. Give it a moment for everything to load. All right, we hit tab. Here's crafting. If I click on it, here it is, but nothing is generating. So we need to find out why, because this should also not be showing up. So I will be back once I find out exactly what caused everything to be broken, if that makes any sense. All right, so for some of you it may have worked, for some of you it may not have worked, and it was simply for missing a step. So if you remember, we had to make our own player state. I didn't change the player state in my game mode. So you want to make sure you do that. Where's the... Okay, so it is changed here. Let's compile and save. So now, when I hit play, tab, crafting, this is showing up. Now, for some reason, this is showing up, and I need to find out why. But now we have this right here. And all of this is deciding it doesn't want to work, which is fine. What matters is we now have this showing as 0 and this. Now it's on to the next bug. I will be right back. All right, found the next bit of important information. Event on added to focused path. We're in the crafting menu that we made that, looks like this. We forgot to add our function in here. So let's add that in there. And that too should take care of at least one of our bugs. I'm going to confirm we have everything set up correctly here. Crafting recipe list. Okay. All right. Now let's see if that solved our problem. Okay, no, this is still showing. But look at that. Everything populated. That's a plus sign right there. So now that we have this populating, I need this to be off by default. So I'm going to find where I set that because I'm not seeing it at the moment. Yeah, it should be disappearing and it's not. So we're going to find that out. If I hit craft, missing items, it's red. It looks like everything is working fairly well. I just need to figure out where I changed this to not be showing. So another bug down, one more to go. And the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, super simple. In the content for the crafting inspector, find the content vertical box that we made, and it needs to be set, the visibility needs to be set to hidden. So now if we go ahead and hit play, it's now hidden. If I hit simple bandages, it now pops up. Can't craft it. That's fine. Now we're going to go ahead, now that we have that working, we know that that's working, we are going to close up some more of these in a second. I want to see what happens when we first, it's not discovered automatically, and we have 3 points. I want to make sure it all works as it should. Play, tab, crafting, we have 3 points. Simple bandage. Oh, there's another bug we need to take care of. That's fine, easy to fix. And we go ahead and click on it. Now it says craft. And we have 1 point. Missing items. one more thing before we find that bug to fix it. I'm going to make this a 1 now for how many research points we have. We want to make sure that this works. Not enough research points. Perfect. So now I'm going to find where I set this and be right back. And then for this, the reason we didn't run into it is because I'd already moved the narrative button to my side of things. So I have this already set because I don't want to move the default button just to do this for this tutorial. What we're doing is in the crafting inspector, we will do the event construct. I want to be responsible though. Let's call that. And then you're going to get the button use that we made, get the button text block, and auto wrap text, set it to true. File and save. Get tab, crafting, simple bandage. Look at that, that's working. However, I'm seeing something that shouldn't be, that is. I don't think we have this set to 2 and 2. So let's take a quick look at that. Your bandage. It is, okay. Save. I had a bug where it was keeping both of those numbers the same consistently. There we go, 2 and 3. All right, my panic attack has been averted. So we now know that we have this working. If I jump back into skills and then come here, this is still showing up. That doesn't happen in mine. I'm not sure why this is popping up because we've set up everything correctly. But let's find out and see if I've missed anything. Again, I will be right back. Alright, and for the final bug, at least so far, we want to get the crafting inspector right here. Deactivate widget. There we go. File and save. So now, crafting, become skills, and then do that. It's no longer there. I'll do this, close out, tab, crafting. Look at that. Everything's working as it should. Fantastic. Well, that was certainly a whole bunch of bug testing that I had not anticipated that we would need to do. However, that always comes when you're creating a whole bunch of UI at once. Usually you do it small piece by small piece, and once you have it working, then you make it modular. So not sure where I had made that mistake and made a change to this disappearing, but fixed it on my project as well, now that I found the problem. So the last thing I'm going to do is create one more of these to see the changes, make sure that it changes when I swap between them, and make sure that a second category populates and all that stuff. So if you feel like you don't need it, you can jump on to the next episode where we're going to create the items that will allow us to actually confirm that making stuff works, and creating the item that makes sure that we can collect research points. So you can jump to that if you want to. Otherwise, let's go ahead real quick and create those last things that we need here. I had closed those recipes up, so let me grab them real quick. We are going to this time do the primitive axe. So of course that means we're going to need to make 2 more materials and then the item itself. So let's jump into, let's see, Systems, Narrative Pro, Inventory, Materials. The first thing I want to make is stone, because we have sticks. So I will come here into, actually I won't even do that, I'm going to duplicate again. Duplicate, material, stone. Open it up. Stone. Common item used for many things. Common stone item. I want to make sure everything is changing as it should. Okay, we'll compile and save. Perfect. Next thing we'll do is here, we don't want consumables, we want a weapons. Come here down to narrative items. I'm just going to make a narrative weapon. BP primitive axe. Open this up. And I'm not going to worry about any of that stuff. I'm just going to write primitive axe. And I'm going to go ahead and sorry, I was looking for my axe here because I liked the cleverness that my guy Aaron did here for the description. An axe made from sticks and stones, it breaks bones. Love the dad humor. So we have that in there. Next thing we need to do, come back into systems, crafting, recipes. Again, I'm just going to duplicate and we'll do primitive axe. Open it up. We want sticks and stones. We'll have this be 3 and 4. And it'll give us a primitive. There we go. We have our axe. Let it save. We'll come here to our player state. The next thing we need to do is create another category. Weaponsmithing. Subcategory. One-handed axes. And in here, discovery, it is not discovered, requires 4. And we have our primitive axe. Compile and save. Let's make sure everything is working. 1 second. For some reason, my project froze. Not sure why. This is... Oh. Now I know why. As you can see, my characters have all turned black. Stupid Unreal Engine bug with a plugin that I have turned off usually. So let's give it a second while it decides to do its thing. Okay. Tab. Crafting. Okay, we see that they've separated. Simple bandage, 2 research points. Herbs. Here, let's make this a bit bigger so you guys can see the tooltip working. Useful herbs for healing. Common item for many things. Simple bandage used to restore health. Perfect. Now primitive axe. Look at that. Change that. 4 points, 3 sticks, 4 stones. Common stone item used for many things. An axe. Okay. Everything is working as it should. Fantastic. So, in the next episode, we will go ahead and get those items made so that we can confirm that everything works when we actually hit craft. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.